Hey y'all, welcome back to Cooking with Siobhan. I'm Siobhan Muir, and today we are going to, I got this recipe book from Mr. SM when he went up to Alaska in 2009, and he brought this back for me, and it's called the Alaska Wild Berry Guide and Cookbook. So if I ever go to Alaska myself, apparently I can, at the beginning, I can look up and see where the berries are and pick those to eat, if it's in the summertime. However, there's this thing is full of recipes. You can see it's full of recipes. But today we're going to make North Star scones. They will be gluten-free. So what do you need? You're going to need 3/4 cup of wild berry jelly or jam. We found some blueberry pomegranate and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. A 1/2 cup of finely chopped apple, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, which is here, 1/4 cup of chopped walnuts, 2 cups of flour, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of white sugar, a dash of salt, 2 to 5 tablespoons of butter, and an egg white or milk. I'll probably do milk at the moment. But they also said red sugar, and I went, red sugar? And they said, yes, prepare red sugar by stirring a few drops of red food coloring into granulated sugar. Or you can use red sugar that came in a container that you've been holding on forever because you decorate sugar cookies and you might as well use it. Which is what I'm doing. Because I'm like, listen, I've got it, I'm just gonna use it. All right. But what they do is stirring a few drops of red food coloring into granulated sugar. You could take, not this one, get some more sugar and just add food coloring. You could use any color, it doesn't have to be red. You could do it pink, you could do it purple, you could do it orange, you could do it green if you're trying to do a Halloween theme, or you could do red and green because it's Christmas, whatever you'd like to do. You can color your sugar as you wish, or you could just use this. All right, so what do you start with? Prepare the filling by combining the jelly, the apple, the brown sugar, cinnamon, and the nuts. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with that, and I'm not going to hold the book open, so it's going to be over here. All right, so we're going to start. I'm going to put the brown sugar in first because I know it's there. I know, it looks funny, doesn't it? Turns out it's actually a lot softer than it looks, but it is, you know. And I'm going to use a spoon and kind of break it up a little bit so that it mixes kind of evenly. Otherwise, you're going to get large lumps of brown sugar. Because brown sugar is has molasses in it, and it is sticky. That's why it sticks to things in itself. Yeah, break it up. All right. Then into that, you add the nuts, and you might want to mix it around. It's a good way to get everything kind of combined. So you have sugar nuts now. And then you want a 1/2 cup of this. Now, we made more than a 1/2 cup of apples. It was just easy. So there's a 1/2 cup, but there's that much left. So really, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna do all the apples. All right, the last thing you need is the jam. Okay, so now you have sugar, nuts, and apple. And then you're going to do 3/4 cup of jam. Smells wonderful. 3/4 cup of jam. And we'll take this and we'll put it in there. And then you combine all of this. And I think originally it said, mix lightly until spreadable. I want it combined. Ta-da! Blueberry, apple. Oh, I forgot the cinnamon, I think. Jelly, apple, brown sugar, cinnamon, and nuts. Yeah, I didn't add the cinnamon, so we'll need to add the cinnamon. It is a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. You know, if you didn't want to add the cinnamon, you probably could have gotten away with the flavors that were there. Now we have blueberry, apple, cinnamon, walnut. paste, basically, with a little hint of pomegranate. So there you go. So there's what your internal mixture should look like. Set this aside. All right, in another bowl, in a separate bowl, sift together flour, baking powder, white sugar, and salt. Well, we know about the white sugar, so I'm just gonna put that in there. Let's not worry about that. We are gonna do flour and 4 teaspoons of baking powder. 3 teaspoons of baking powder is a tablespoon. And there's the 4th one. So, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, all right? And salt, they said a dash of salt. Well, you can argue with how much a dash is, but I'm gonna do about 1/8 of a teaspoon. That way at least you know what to, or just that. Make sure there was plenty of salt in there, I guess. This is high quality mixing. All right, but 2 cups of flour. We of course are using the gluten-free flour. Sift together flour, baking powder, white sugar, and salt. Blend in the butter after that. Okay, but first what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. Into this, you're going to put 5 tablespoons of salt. 5 tablespoons of butter. This stuff right here. Don't put 5 tablespoons of salt. You will hate your life. I promise you will hate your life. And you definitely won't want to eat this when if you put that much salt in. No one will want to eat it. Shoot, even the dog won't eat it. Okay? Just don't do that. To make this easy, I like cutting up the butter. I find it works better. That way it is mixed easier. Then use a pastry cutter or a fork and put the butter in, because you want to cut the butter into because this is going to end up being a dough. I think they forgot the water. There's a key ingredient missing. This is not going to make a dough unless you add some sort of oil or a liquid of some kind. Could be milk, could be water. I've made a lot of crusts in my time. When you're doing 2 cups of flour, you always do it to 1 cup of butter. There's only 5 tablespoons in here. Not a problem. But I'm telling you right now, to 2 cups of flour, there's not enough liquid here. There's not enough anything to keep it as a dough. Because it's still just flour. So, what I recommend, after I wash my hands, I recommend a 1/2 cup of milk. At least 1/4. I'll start with 1/4, I can always add more. But you're going to need milk. You can't do this. Three-quarters of a cup of milk might be the best choice for you to get this to actually be dough. Because I'm not sure your dough will stick together without it. It's like they left out that really crucial, because if you want a rollable dough, whether it's gluten-free or not, you're gonna need something that sticks together. Yeah. 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of dough, of milk, I'm sorry, of milk. Otherwise you're not going to have a workable dough. You definitely need 3/4 of a cup of milk to get dough, because otherwise it's just going to be dust with butter in it. And if you're trying to make scones or anything, you're going to need some milk. Otherwise it's just not going to come together, and then you'll be really frustrated. Okay, so once you have your dough kind of in something that looks like it might actually be rollable after adding 3/4 cup of milk, make sure you add that to your list. You want a piece of wax paper. You're going to roll out your dough on the wax paper, okay? Set your oven, preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit or 232 degrees Celsius, because we're going to be baking this. Now, this recipe is one of those recipes that always makes me laugh. It says, oh, just bake it till it's golden brown. Well, I've never made this before, so how long is that? I'm going to guess at 450 degrees, and we're going to make kind of a log, that it's going to be about 35 minutes. Because when I think of scones, I think of their individual little things. This is not what we're making. We are making one kind of like a Yule log almost. It's going to be, and you know, shoot, I could just roll out the dough. Maybe I should do that. But what you want to do is you want this thing to be about 10 inches wide. Hang on, I'm doing math in my head. 10 inches wide divided by 2 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25 centimeters wide by 50 centimeters long. Is that right? Yeah, about right. Because it's 10 by 20. 10 inches by 20 inches. So we're going to roll this out. Again, the reason I added that milk is so that it forms a dough that actually sticks together. And I thought it was interesting that the recipe really didn't call for anything like that. Like it didn't call for. Now I'm not adding any flour to this, but I could. The nice thing about gluten-free flour is it's often very dry, so it really makes rolling things out actually pretty easy. And it's only when you really press the issue that it kind of goes, oh, I'm gonna stick now. But normally it doesn't do stuff like that. Now the reason they want it kind of rectangular in style is because what they're doing is they're going to fold this over on itself this way, and you're going to put you are going to put the filling in the center. So that's kind of why they want you to have kind of a nice rectangular shape, right? Because you're going to fold one side over onto the other. There you go. Now, the wax paper is really important because what you're going to end up doing is once you fold this thing together, you're just going to take the whole wax paper thing and stick it on the cookie sheet. Because I have to say one thing, their practicality is really great. I don't want to have to take this thing off and move it. This is great. Okay, so once you have that rolled out, spread filling over half the dough and carefully fold the other half over the filling. We're gonna now I am leaving a little bit of space around, and the reason I'm doing that is what happens when you fold things together? It oozes, right? So I am trying to leave a little space. All right, I didn't end up using all of it. I suppose you could use this as a dipping sauce, but I'm not gonna go there. All right, so, and then they said, fold it over on itself. The corners, and then they said use a fork to press the sides. Yeah, see, told you. Press the sides together. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I know it's gonna seem strange, but I'm gonna flip it over to make sure that the dough stays where you want it to. Okay, and then it says just take this whole thing, which I really want to turn it, but take this whole thing and put it on there. Okay, it's not gonna look as pretty because I had to move it because I wanted it to be on the wax paper more than I wanted it to look nice. But I think it's gonna be okay, even though it looks a little mangled. Just a little bit. So we're gonna put it in the oven. Now it says until, oh wait, there's one last thing you have to do. Okay, let's see. So when you want to decorate this to make it look golden brown, an egg wash is a really good way to do it. It makes it really elegant and, you know, looks all pretty in the end. Now, once you have the egg wash, put it in the oven for, like I said, I think it's gonna take about 35 minutes. We'll set it for that and we'll check because, again, it just said until golden brown. Okay. So I would suggest 35 minutes for this thing because if it was normal scones, which are individual, it would only be 12 to 15 minutes, right? Because they're individual things and they cook differently. When it's a larger item, it's going to take longer. The problem is, I don't know how much longer. So like I said, when you're making like a nut roll, it often takes about 30 minutes. So I'm just gonna guess, and we'll keep checking on it. But at 450 degrees, maybe we'll try 25 minutes. Check on it, see what it looks like, and then go from there. So we'll do it for 25 minutes and we'll check on it and then we'll see where we're at. We cooked this for 20 minutes. I mean, we cooked it for 20 minutes. Smells good. It looks cooked through. That was 20 minutes, golden brown, 450 degrees Fahrenheit or 232 degrees Celsius. Don't forget the milk. It's pretty good. It looks pretty good. Of course, you know, you have the edges that have gotten a little cooked on, but gluten-free. Oh, I forgot to put the red, I think it's fine. We can put red sugar on it if you'd like, but gluten-free North Star scones. If you wanted to add sugar, I forgot to add the sugar when we put it in there, but that would make it very festive. Make sure you add milk to your dough. Otherwise, you just have powder overfilling. And there's no way it would work. I think they forgot to add that you have to add some sort of water or milk to it. So there you have it. Ha-ha! Worked the first time. So, thank you for joining me. Definitely ring the bell to find out when there are new videos that come out. Sign up for the channel, you know, subscribe to the channel so that you know when the new videos come out. Comment on and like the video. See, did you try something different? Did you use a different kind of jam? Did you not add nuts because you're allergic to nuts? What did you do different? Tell me in the comments. Also, definitely sign up for Patreon because Facebook's doing something weird. And so I'm starting to move some of my social media interactions off of Facebook. I know everyone's like, Facebook is so Gen X. Cool, I'm Gen X. But it was a great way to reach people, but now they're starting to put in rules that have to do with generational AI, and I am really anti-Gen AI, which is strange because this is going to go up on YouTube, and YouTube is like, yeah, Gen AI is cool. I am not. Everything you see here is me just being me. Anyway, so definitely find me on Patreon, which is patreon.com/Siobhan Muir. You will not only, you can sign up for the free, or you can sign up for $1 a month and you get my Thursday Threads writings all in one place. Or I suggest the $3 one, because not only do you get these videos, but you get cover reveals, you get bits and pieces of books that you would never see prior to this. $5 the deal is you get the individual stories that you can't find anywhere else. So I totally recommend you signing up for Patreon to get all the goodies, plus the cooking videos. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Happy making, happy baking, happy eating, and happy reading. Bye!